All right, guys, we got a packed episode for you today. It is Wednesday, and we're going to share with you we're rolling our top 5 into a top 7 and then turning it into a speculation video. So we got some really cool stuff. We're going to go over the end. Princess has some gains that she has picked up. 2 separate gains, actually, straight from her man Thoro over at Thoro's Comics. So we're going to be opening that.
Like that guy.
Yeah, so that's going to be the show today. Let's get into it. Let's do it! Welcome back, Gainers, to another crazy, exciting, fantastic, nuclear episode of Comic Games. If you're new to the show, I'm Adam.
I'm Zach, and this is Princess of Royal Highness doing that princess wave, looking very lovely today like usual. Make sure to bow down and respect.
Coco's hiding over there.
And Coco's hiding over there.
For some reason she's
in the show, but out of sight.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, guys, like we were saying, we're rolling our top 5 into a top 7 speculation. We're going to be doing basically characters that we think you should be speculating on that have not been in Edge of the Spider-Verse that should possibly, not guarantee, but should show up in Edge of Spider-Verse 2. And we got some background on the characters, and Zach threw together some good numbers for you on CGC 9.8s. You should be looking out for. So some really good information, and as you can see, it kind of goes along with their background a little bit. And on top of that, it's the gains show, so Princess had to flex and show some gains. So she made 2 separate purchases from Thoro, and she would like to share one on an auction and one from Whatnot. Whatnot. So before we get into any of that, though, there is something that came from another verse.
It's a beer verse. So this is Odin's Brewery Company. Odin's Brewing Company. They make a lot of good beers. I've never tried this once. This is Odin's gift. The gift of drunkenness, I'm sure. And that's what I'm hoping for. So this is an amber ale. It's 5.4%. But as you well know, there's a 0.2 in here.
If you cut that 4.5, it's a 2.
And 0.2 is
really
the
cool
best
picture on there.
part. And this
it's
is
like Odin giving you a gift.
Oh, yes.
Here's Mjolnir in this form of a beer.
He's one of the wisest gods ever.
If it blows up, then you know Zach's not worthy.
I am not worthy of this beer.
It's like...
And 5.4% isn't too bad. Ooh. Smells like, almost
nice.
Smells chocolatey in a weird way. It's
an Odin's gift.
of weird chocolate beer, but no.
He's like, tastes like Odin's fart.
It's very smooth. Doesn't really have a lot of flavor. That's kind of weird.
But it probably doesn't have the bite with the lower alcohol content.
Yeah, very true.
All right, guys. So let's get into the video. Let's talk about some comics. So as you well might know, one of my favorite comic book movies of all time is Into the Spider-Verse. These guys will attest to that. It's on all the time. But we like it together, and there's a lot of good speculation to do with characters that haven't shown up yet in Edge of Spider-Verse. And the first movie was amazing, but there's so many things that could do with it. That really didn't even go along with the comic book. Edge of Spider-Verse was completely different from what the movie was, and so. We thought we'd get together and kind of pull. So originally, we were going to do a list of in order, but then they were all awesome. So we're just going to do 7 books that we all came up with as a group that we thought would be characters you should be looking out for. Most of these, I think you guys already might know. I don't think any of these are going to shock you, but there's some good numbers here and maybe some good information you didn't know was going on. And, the cool thing with that teaser that they showed for Edge of Spider-Verse 2 is that they showed all those different colors of the different Edge of Spider-Verse, which gave you a hint of which characters were possibly going to be in the next one.
Yes, and this could be possibly the next one. So this is Amazing Spider-Man number 10. And Adam, what do you have to tell us about that? And Princess is going to show it.
So you got Amazing Spider-Man number 10, and I actually only recently learned about this book when I picked up a half-price book. But this is he's actually from Earth 138, which might get kind of confusing because most all these guys are from a different Earth setting. But it's actually Hobie Brown. The Prowler is actually Spider-Man.
Oh,
I didn't even know that, so I thought that was pretty cool. So, basically just same power as Spider-Man. He was bitten by a radioactive spider. This book came out in 2015, and he's just basically a punk rocker version of Spider-Man. I think he was way under the radar until just about 6 months ago. And all of a sudden people are like, okay, he could show up. Seems like a really cool character. It's interesting since he's Hobie Brown, who's the Prowler, how he show up, as the other Prowler.
Yeah,
it's not the same Prowler.
It's like Miles Morales. It's hey, you're my uncle. It's
Kinda.
I'm not your uncle.
Yeah, I'm not really your uncle.
Not from this universe.
Right. So, with some good numbers on that one, Zach.
So it's very interesting. This one has a range of value in a 9.8 of 150, which was I think early in the year or mid-year, and a high of 450, and an average sale of 268.98. Last sold 300. So I would say if you were to buy this on 9.8, you want to get it around the 250 mark, ideally lower. This one, you can find raw copies, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't worry about getting the raw copies to potentially send it to CGC because there's not enough gains yet. The return on your investment wouldn't be as high. So get a 9.8 for about 250, might double, you'll be happy. And then stack up some raw copies if you want.
If he doesn't show up in the next Spider-Verse, then you easily be able to get a 9.8 for cheap, I would assume.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. What's up next? Good spec on that one.
We got a Web of Spider-Man 118, and this one's very interesting. Ab, what can you tell me about Web of Spider-Man 118?
Yeah, we've talked about this one a lot. We're specking on this one. A lot of people are specking on this one. I think he's one of the best Spider-Man outfits out there. Like my favorite by far. But you got Ben Reilly, so he's actually the clone of Peter Parker, and he decided to use his Uncle Ben's first name and Aunt May's maiden name, Riley, and put it together to become Ben Reilly. He's actually in the regular universe from Peter Parker's universe. So he's not outside of the universe.
Very cool.
This book came out in 1994. Obviously, a lot is known about him. He's super important right now and currently in the comics. I think one of the main reasons we're specking on him for Spider-Verse is that symbol when it came out for the teaser. One of the teasers was his colors.
Yes.
So it's interesting. It'd be really hard to use him in the MCU, maybe, because then you have to extend the same actor again into another role. Unless they make him like a clone that kind of looks similar. I don't know. That doesn't really make sense. But I think it's a really cool character to spec on.
So this one has a price-wise, in a 9.8, has a range of 270 to 660 and an average of 490.63. Last sold is the 590, 589.99. And I would say with this one, you can find it out in high grades in the wild for pretty easily. So I would try to steer clear of buying 9.8 right now because it's towards a high. If you were to buy it for 400 or less in a 9.8, and you should be pretty well off. And there's newsstands. So if you can get the newsstand, cool, especially in raw, do it. If not, we found one, I think, for $25.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know how that happened.
I don't know. I was like, what is wrong with this guy? But yeah, we bought it. So yeah, I keep an eye out for the raws.
Cool.
Okay.
What's up next, Zach?
This one is crazy because I don't know how the values on this is. So, but I'll tell you after we explain the character. This is a Spider-Man India #1. And Adam, what can you tell me?
So this is actually really cool. I didn't know about this book. So Spider-Man India, this was actually published in India in 2004 by Gotham Comics. And they kind of made an agreement to create their own Peter. So I don't want to really pronounce the name though, but it's Pavaters, then it's a very, long name. But they published over there first and it was so popular, Marvel actually reprinted it in 2005.
Oh.
In American comic books. So he doesn't really have much outside of, it's only a 4-issue run and it actually came out, like I said, 2004, so quite a long time ago. But it's interesting. Really, I didn't know about this book until, a year or two ago. And then all of a sudden I was like, okay, this is really cool. We need to pick one of these up. But there's a lot of speculation with him coming into Spider-Verse. I think he's above all the high speculation moving in because he doesn't really have much interaction with any of the other characters. So they can basically have a clean slate to write whatever they want to write about. But his basic backstory is very similar to Peter. So, and they don't even actually mention what Earth he's actually in. So unless you guys know, I don't know what Earth he's in, but very cool character.
And if you know, comment down below because we want that knowledge. All right, so this one is crazy, and it's kind of interesting that it's a reprint technically of an Indian comic. So maybe try to go after that Indian comic.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the Indian comic.
I wish I would have known. I would have bought 10 copies. So this one's crazy. So it's a range of in a 9.8, $500 to $1,000, and last sale was $750. This is a very volatile book. I would also try to get this in a raw, and I don't believe actually if it's 2005, there would be a newsstand, maybe, but they might not have done it since it's such a kind of an interesting book. Maybe newsstand. Last sold $670. So
wow,
if you were to buy it in 9.8, I would say probably go after it for the minimum, the 500 range. Good luck, but if you can get it, buy it for 500, but get it definitely in raw, because the raws will pay off better than that.
Yeah, just because it looks like a difficult book to secure in a 9.8 though. Because all the ones I've been seeing, everyone we know have been getting them, and they're like, there's ticks, and mine has ticks in it. It's not perfect. It's not going to get a 9.8. All right, what we got next there, Zach?
This one was a nightmare to research, so my numbers might not be quite as good as it should, but this is Amazing Spider-Man number 4.
Okay, so this is Silk, first appearance of Silk. She's actually from Earth 616, which is one of the popular alternate Earth dimensions, if you want to call it that. But her alternate ego, Cindy Moon. This came out in 2014. Cindy Moon's first appearance is actually in Amazing Spider-Man 1 from this Earth 616 run, which is a very underrated book. I know Zach picked about 10 copies of that. He's hoping something bursts out the seams. But her actual time she puts on the costume is in number 4. And interesting with her, which I think is a really good reason she could show up in the Spider-Verse, is that she was actually in that universe, was bitten by the same spider as Peter Parker. So that makes them like totem siblings, which in the Spider-Verse thing is very important, because the spider totem is what the bad guys are hunting for. So the fact that they're connected through the spider totem is interesting. And they do have a little bit of a love interest, at least in that universe. Who hasn't Spider-Man been with?
Yeah, that's
he's kind of like the man whore of Marvel.
And we all love him still. So, numbers-wise, it's a range of $209.99 to $500. Pretty large range. And last sale is $400. Whoa. It's hard to find information on this one, because there's about 5 total printings. So to scrub through all that information, I did the best I could for this cover A. And
that's the Humberto Ramos too.
Last sale $400, so I would try to get this about $350. I would recommend getting at the 9.8 of any of the copies, about $350. But there's rare J. Scott Campbell ones that are even lower print runs than everything altogether, besides the newsstand of cover A, and that book's basically impossible to find. So take a look at the J. Scott Campbells. Try to buy that in a 9.8. $350 or less. I think you can actually get it for a little less, and you'll be happy with your returns.
Yeah, that's a good book to buy already graded in a 9.8, because it's so low right now. It's like, as soon as she hits the screen, that's guaranteed like $1,000 book.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. What do we got last? We have one more?
We got two more.
Two more, okay.
And, make sure I get... This is What If 105. And what can you tell me about that, Adam?
All right, so What If 105 is actually the first appearance of Mayday Parker. So she's actually from Earth 982. Didn't even know that existed. But this is the What If one, so didn't start out as being anything realistic, but now she's turned into a realistic character. But her parents is actually Mary Jane and Spider-Man, so creating her, she's the actual daughter of the two. And kind of cool, it's... She actually was spliced together with part of the Venom symbiote, which gave her similar powers to Venom, but she doesn't actually inhabited by a symbiote. So she's more, if you Spider-Man fans out there are familiar with Spider-Side, she's very familiar, like similar character to Spider-Side, so she can stretch her stuff out. But but just really, really cool character. That's a weird way to put it. We'll go with it. Zach's been preaching, shoving this down my throat for the last 2 years about Mayday Parker. And she shows up as a kid a lot in stories, like current stories they show, we were just reading the Dark Ages and she's in that, so.
It's so amazing. It's amazing. So this one is a very volatile book again. It's price-wise $525 in a 9.8. Low, high is $1,300.
Whoa.
The average is $801. This one, last sold is $700. I would highly recommend, unless you got some money, rumble around. Highly recommend you buying this raw, because we find this actually quite often raw and high grade. Newsstand and direct edition. Go for the newsstand like always for this time period. But I would highly recommend you buying it raw. And if you have the money for a 9.8, drop a $700, $600 on it. Ideally, try to find a newsstand if you're going to do that. Spend a little bit more, and you'll get a very, very, very...
I feel like people sell this in the newsstand for similar price to the direct, even though they shouldn't be.
They shouldn't.
Yeah,
no,
they
it's
do.
Kind of weird.
It's not known.
Big mistake.
All right, and then last on the list, it's gonna be a longer video. Hope you guys enjoy this kind of topic and this kind of stuff.
We don't have this book, so this is actually on our list.
It's on my list.
This is Amazing Spider-Man number 30, and Adam.
All right, guys. This is our only character on the list that is not a spider character. So this is the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2, number 30 from 2001. This is first appearance of Morlun. He is a psychic vampire, and he's kind of like the main antagonist of the whole Spider-Verse run, which was kind of interesting that he wasn't in the original. But if you think about it, it could be a setup for him to show up in the second one. It's either like an all or nothing. He's either going to show up and this book's going to go crazy, or he's not going to show up and it's going to go back down the toilet where it was at. But cool character. He basically, the group of these psychic vampires go around and they like suck the life out of spider characters from all the multiverses. Interesting enough, he's actually from a place called Loom World, which is in Earth 1, which is kind of cool. So he's actually from Earth 1. And like he's part of a group called the Inheritors, and it's just a really great read if you guys haven't been picked up that read. It's from that weird time period when like Amazing Spider-Man stopped and then started back over again and then it kind of jumped back into the other one.
Very cool, very cool. And price-wise, this is... I don't know why we picked the last couple bucks to be so volatile. The price-wise, in a year, just to be clear. This is
only got hot like 4 months ago.
Yeah, it was selling for $134 in the 9.8. Now it's up to $550. Last sold is $315, and the average is $264.90 basically. I would try to get this for no more than $200, because then that's kind of close to the low, and it's way above the high. So it's like way below the high. Yeah, if that makes sense. But definitely get a raw copy. I would say minimum get a raw copy, so you just hedge your bets a little bit.
It seems like you can find a decent grade one raw for about $40, give or take. That's kind of what I'm looking at. Like if we buy one, I'm hoping for $40 or lower. But you never know. If this one's totally a gamble, because either he shows up, which I think he should, because their backstory is so good, that's just going to make the movie better. But you never know. Any of you guys, leave your comments on any of the stuff what you guys think. So that's our list. Kind of a little topic to kick it with you guys. It's something we've been kicking around the water jug. Do we have a water jug? We should get a water jug. We should have it so we can talk around it. Yeah. Like, hey, what are you doing today?
Just drink water.
But ours will be filled with beer.
Oh, beer, yes. I forgot that. Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. So let's get into some stuff. So Prince is going to let me know which one we want to open first. This one or this one? The big one? The little one first? Okay. So we got some stuff here to open. And before you get too far, stick around. There might be a giveaway at the end. You know how when we do these lists, sometimes we have giveaways. So, so we've been watching Thoro like forever. We used to spend like all of our either Friday night and then switch Saturday night watching his auctions with just the best lineup you could possibly ask for comic book auctions. They've all recently switched to Whatnot, which everyone does, but every once in a while he gets back on, and he did this auction with a big lion cat. Meow meow. Princess will do the noise for you. But another awesome guy. So check both of them out. Check Big Lion Cat out, and then sub up to him because he's still doing YouTube auctions. And then Thoro is still his YouTube channel, and he's doing Whatnot. So check him out on there. Princess has been getting on both of those. So this is I think an individual book that she bought from Thoro on Big Lion Cat's auction, and all that sounds confusing. But this is some Princess gains.
Yeah, Thoro really likes to do the speculation, the deep speculation. Like he's specking on. This is a rough example, Smurfs #1, because he sees that later on they'll have to make a Smurfs movie. This is just, I don't know if he's speculating on Smurfs 1, but this is like, he goes deep.
Well, he's a reader too, you can tell he reads.
Find books that I would never even consider.
Ghost books.
Yeah, and he's writing a lot of time. Okay.
You got this for that cheap? That's a steal.
That's a steal.
All right, and you put it in a very nice, like a bag. This is cool. So you got
double boarded.
Transformers. Robots in Disguise.
We saw that movie.
#1. That's the original #1. Really cool. And it is in a direct edition. It might actually be one of the rare ones if it's direct, at that time period. I can't remember.
If it's at least 1980s, it's the rare.
I don't remember when Transformers should be like 81, right?
It's hard to say. Yeah. At least 85 or 84.
Yeah. Cool book, though.
Because it has to be around the time when the show came out.
Yeah, I don't believe any of us have that, dude. I don't have it.
I don't have it.
Yeah, you got Optimus Prime, so now Princess has it. Of all of us, Princess has Transformers #1 from Thoro. Thank you, Thoro. Book looks in great condition. Package excellent.
Thank you.
So you got like one of those like the Ultra Pros. That's what I was trying to say. It's like Ultra Pro.
So these books themselves, they're worth a fair amount of money, but in a 9.8 they go skyrocket. Everybody wants this book in a 9.8.
Yeah.
And people have to pay out the wazoo for it.
Probably because like a lot of kids had it back in the day. You know, like regular collectors in the 80s would probably laugh at at a Transformers comic, but then you get it, then they're not. It's like all those books that like kids were ratting around.
Right.
Yeah.
Put it in their backpacks and it's all crushed, and then they read it 20 times.
Yeah.
My God. Okay.
All right, so we got one more thing to open from Thoro. This is something Princess got off him on Whatnot. So he did if you guys know Thoro, his saying is be savage, not average. Yeah, awesome. Super cool catchphrase. But so he did a special thing where on Whatnot, you basically got like a mystery box. Either it was a savage box or an average box. Princess told us later that she got the average box. I kind of wanted to see what was in any of those savage boxes, but we wanted to share it with you regardless of that it was an average box, because knowing Thoro, it's probably not too average, so it's probably pretty decent. That's packaged well. Okay. Good. I like packaged really well.
The more you sell books, the better packing you get.
Yeah.
And figure out what kind of stuff you can safely ship stuff. I'm not good at shipping out Funkos. I know this for a fact. We won't get into any stories.
Yeah.
But I didn't have any boxes. I couldn't find any boxes that would work perfectly. So I just, all right, sifted and prayed. And
we officially got out of the Funko game after that fiasco.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be it's probably 2 boxes. You need the main box that you see on the outside, and then a couple boxes that would safely put in the Funkos. And we didn't have any of that at the time. We have some of it now.
It's like the strongest blue tape I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay. We're in like the Flint. Okay.
We're in like Flint?
Yeah.
We're in like Flint.
Is it Flint or Flint?
Flint.
Okay.
What the?
I don't know. I thought they were saying Flint the whole time. Ooh! Oh,
I might be wrong.
Dude, this is actually really cool. So, this is Dark Reign Zodiac #1 of 3. So, cool part about this right now is the main villain in Moon Knight, the new Moon Knight run, is Zodiac. So, and there's like a lot of speculation with him. I don't know, doubt that's his first appearance, but I know he's one of the main bad guys in the original Dark Reign run.
Okay.
Pretty
I didn't
cool.
know anything about Dark Reign.
He's pretty gnarly. He's pretty
cool.
gnarly. Ooh, okay. So we have X-Men Special Edition #1. I remember something about this, but I can't remember what it is. Do you remember Zach?
I think it's the reprint of Giant Says X-Men #1.
Is it?
These books can potentially go up in price significantly, especially if the X-Men take off.
Is it from like a toy or something, or just a random reprint?
No, it was just not a random reprint, but it was reprinted with a new cover by a somewhat famous artist.
Looks like a wraparound too.
Yeah, it is a wraparound.
Yeah, cool book though. For the average box, pretty cool so far. So, ooh, you got something here. This is Justice League 21, Shazam's Last Stand, and it says on the back, first appearance of the modern Shazam family, and it's a variant cover.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad. There's a lot of good Shazam spec.
Yeah.
I like the artwork on that one too.
Yeah, DC's pretty cool. It's a very underrated company as of right now. I like the first appearances, but sometimes I just don't want to get any of the extra stuff. Ever since I got a big run of World's Finest, I hate World's Finest, and it kind of sours the...
World's Lamest.
It kind of sours the
Sorry
pool
if you guys like World's Finest.
Sorry. I apologize.
All right, here's one. I hear this name all the time, but this is pretty cool. So you have Dante's Inferno #0, and this is signed... It's from Wildstorm Comics, but this is signed by Christos Gage at Heroes Comic Con, and cool. I know it's like, isn't Dante's Inferno is that a TV show originally or
originally it was a play or story. I should say it's originally a story about Dante going through the 9 levels of hell.
I'm about to get schooled by Zach here, guys.
To I think get his lover's soul that died back from hell, and he has to go through all the tribulations. But that one's probably based on a video game.
I don't know.
I think there's a video game about it.
If anybody knows, or if Zach's correct, let us know. I'm assuming he's right though.
Somewhat.
Oh, there's a good one, Zach.
Oh, whoa!
Oh, there we go. Okay, we'll skip through. So we got Avengers 310, the Triumph of Battlestar. I can't remember. This is something cool, but isn't he one of the Heralds of Galactus? Battlestar? I don't know.
Battlestar.
Is it Battlestar?
I think he is later on.
Or am I thinking Terrax? He kind of looks like Terrax.
Terrax is definitely a Galactus, but Battlestar, I think he becomes a Herald. I think he becomes a Herald.
Looks right. This is a book Zach knows and loves very well. So, and it's in really, really like top tier shape. So this is Amazing Spider-Man 257. Zach, why do you love this book?
It's the first appearance of Ned Leeds as Hobgoblin. And we actually own one of these copies in a Mark Jeweler. And we want to double down.
What's the most important thing about that book? Second appearance
Puma.
Second appearance.
Second appearance. Yeah. I thought it was first.
The second appearance. But cool book. Super under. I don't know. I feel like that book should have like just spiked really hard after like the whole Ned Leeds thing. But it kind of did, and it like puttered back out. But it's a really good cover too. Ooh, okay. So you got Doctor Strange, number 46. A lot of good characters on there. There's isn't that Agatha in the back there? The most magical team up of all time.
That might be a first appearance of a certain team. So whatever that team would be.
The one guy Shaman in the back? He's like rocking in the back.
I don't know much about Shaman, honestly.
Shaman? Is it Shaman or Shaman?
It's Seamus.
Is it Charmin?
Seamus. Get out of here, Seamus.
This is actually a solid book. So Totally Awesome Hulk, number 1 in the hip hop cover. I'm pretty sure Princess already has this, but yeah, I mean that's a solid book all by itself. It's first solo title of Amadeus Cho,
and it's also Amadeus Cho becomes the Hulk, or is the first issue of where he becomes the Hulk.
Takes on the Hulk name.
Yeah. Well, I think he becomes the Hulk in that one.
Changed his name later to Braun, I think.
Yeah, that might be right.
Brawny. Okay.
I could be
solid wrong. Average box, man.
Oh, is that number 1?
Yeah.
Oh,
so you
yeah.
got Far Sector number 1. This is the variant cover. Which is her first appearance, I think.
Yeah, it is.
I think we have like 3 different versions of this, and it's the cool thing about this is actually part of like a kids run originally, like DC Young. What do they call that?
Young Animals.
Yeah, Young Animals. Weird name for a kids thing, but
so what I've heard that this story is amazing.
Not a kid's story.
It's amazing. I've heard. I need to read it still.
Jumping ahead. All right, this is a book that had a little bit of steam a while back. It's kind of shrunk down a little bit, but you got Dark Knight's Death Metal number 3, and I think it's the first cover appearance of Robin King.
First.
I know it's not the first appearance. Is he even?
Wait, maybe it is.
I think it's the first cover appearance of Robin King.
Maybe it is.
Which I don't know. That character felt like he was gonna be so hot, and then it was like
they were
nothing.
Up, yeah, it's like
it's kind of like all the new Batman DC characters.
Give it 30 years, it'll be worth a ton of money.
We're gonna come back to that one. Ooh. Oh, okay. This book is pretty cool too. So, Death of Doctor Strange, number 3. This is the first cameo appearance of the child of the 3 mothers. I read this story. It's pretty good. They're creepy though. They're creepy.
I don't know.
That's a really good storyline. The whole lead up to the death of Doctor Strange.
I think that's a key too.
We're on this book.
Oh,
we're talking about this book, Zach.
I don't care about that book.
Okay, so we got Howling Commando Shield number 1 to fight monsters of the world. It takes the monsters of the night. So that's pretty cool. Like a big team up of the Howling Commandos with all the monsters. There's Hit Monkey right there.
Oh, Hit Monkey!
Hit Monkey. What? Oh yeah, it's Man Thing. Man Thing. Princess's favorite character. Man Thing. Come one, come all. All right. That's it. We got great box, Thoro, man. This is good stuff. She didn't even tell us how much this costs.
Is that rat?
This rat bastard. Small doses of.
That's kind of funny. That should be a real rat. Definitely. That's a funny one.
You rat bastard.
Hopefully YouTube doesn't flag us for that.
I don't know. Is that still a swear word?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
But you know what is a swear word? No, not joking.
Cool book. All right, one more. We'll let you guys go. Oh, yes. It's Willow, dude. Look, it's the baby.
Oh my god.
And this is awesome. So you got Willow, the official comic book adaptation of the spectacular new movie from Lucasfilm. This was one of my favorite movies growing up. Mad Mardigan, I actually dressed up as him for Halloween one year. Amazing movie. I watched the movie and I think Zach's still dated for him. But this is good spec, guys, because Ron Howard is the director of this movie, and I know when they were doing the Solo movie, which a lot of people didn't like, I thought was cool. There's a bunch of people, same people that were in this movie were at the Solo movie, and they were talking about making a sequel. So if a sequel comes out, and I think it's a property maybe kind of owned by Disney Plus now. I'm not even sure how that works with this since they own everything they do. But cool book, Willow.
Yeah, it's a deep spec book.
Deep spec.
I mean,
like way deep.
I would say it could be a $50 book comparably for when the time period comes out that they're gonna do a Willow 2.
It could be in the range of like Dune, you know, like Dune #1.
Like boom, and then you might be able to make some money on that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, yeah. Val Kilmer's one of his best roles. I put it like top 2.
That's
top
true.
2.
That's true.
That's true. All right, that's gonna wrap things up. So before you guys go, we do have a little bit of giveaway action. Some 2 books we were able to find that kind of go along with our topic here. So as usual, guys, to enter in one of our giveaways, you have to be a subscriber. You have to hit the like button. Leave a comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. Tell us what your guys' favorite spec character is for the next Edge of Spider-Verse. If you hate Edge of Spider-Verse, just tell us what you think about anything you want to tell us. You know, because we enjoy it all. But we got some good books here. We got Spider-Girl.
Yeah, Spider-Girl #7. It's not a key, but I thought it was really cool with Nova and Spider-Girl on the cover. I believe that's Mayday Parker.
It is Mayday Parker.
Yeah.
So if you didn't know anything about Mayday Parker and you wanted to learn some stuff about her, you got a book to read her. And we do have Ultimate Fallout 4 in the Facsimile. We're not going to lie, it's not the real one, but and I was able to pick up a bunch of these and was specking on them. So I think it's a really good book. Zach and I were just talking earlier. The 9.8 goes for like $70. So that's crazy. I don't even know why. I mean, I'm not really sure why you get it slabbed right away, but it's a cool book. All these facsimiles are just going crazy. I just got that Werewolf by Night 32, the facsimile. It's like a $15, $20 book. I don't know why, but whatever. It's cool. If they're going up in value, we'll give some to you, get you guys some value, some gains.
My theory is, so a lot of people can't afford the original one, so you buy the one that's a reprint, and then you can put it on your wall display. Kind of, it's like, okay, this is his first appearance, but it's a facsimile. And then this is his second appearance, third appearance, whatever. All the cool Moon Knight or Miles Morales books that you can kind of pair with it. That is within reason, because those books are not within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap the show up. As usual, we like the show, love the show. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so you always know when new things are going down. Leave us a comment down below. And Zach, anything else to wrap up this long show? Hope you guys love us so much you were here the whole time.
Very quick. So you have to be something, live around in the swamp, whatever, fighting people, fighting bad guys, kind of mystical in a way, you have some powers, I believe. And you also have other people that are kind of have similar powers. And, the thing is, you're a man thing, so get those games.
If you're a large man thing, you're a what?
Super giant size man thing.
All right, guys, until we see you next time, stay safe and
get those games!